Here are 10 shocking signs. Your partner is cheating on you and how to deal with this problem. Trust is the cornerstone of any relationship, a foundation upon which love and companionship are built. When that foundation begins to feel shaky, it can leave you questioning not just your partner's actions, but also your own perceptions. Infidelity, though painful to consider, is a reality that many face in their relationships. Recognizing its warning signs is not about paranoia or mistrust, but about understanding the dynamics of your connection with your partner. This article isn't meant to incite fear or cast doubt unnecessarily. Its purpose is to empower you with knowledge and awareness. By understanding the signs of potential infidelity, you can approach your relationship with clarity, courage, and, most importantly, fairness. Each sign presented here is not definitive evidence of betrayal, but rather a signal to examine your partnership more closely. Often, these signs are rooted in broader relational issues that can be addressed with open communication and mutual effort. However, it is critical to approach these signs with a balanced mind. Jumping to conclusions without context or evidence can harm the trust you're trying to preserve. This is where wisdom and self-control come into play, traits Stoicism teaches us to cultivate. Before acting, reflect. Before accusing, seek understanding. And above all, recognize that your happiness and self-worth are not defined by the actions of another. Let this exploration be a guide for those seeking clarity and growth. Whether your suspicions are confirmed or proven unfounded, the process will help you better understand yourself, your values, and your needs. Relationships, at their best, are built on honesty and mutual respect. Let us now explore the signs that may signal trouble, not as a means to fear the worst, but as a step toward fostering greater understanding and trust in your relationship. 1. Sudden changes in behavior or routine. When someone starts acting differently without a clear reason, it can signal that something significant is happening beneath the surface. A partner who was once predictable in their daily habits may suddenly develop erratic routines or unexplained commitments. While change is natural, abrupt shifts that lack transparency can be a cause for closer attention. Imagine a scenario where your partner, who rarely worked late, suddenly has urgent projects keeping them at the office well into the evening. When you ask about their schedule, the answers are vague or dismissive. Perhaps they've taken up a new hobby or activity they never expressed interest in before, but are unwilling to share details or involve you in it. Such changes can stem from many things: stress, personal growth, or even a desire for independence. However, if these behaviors are accompanied by secrecy or defensiveness, they might indicate that your partner is redirecting time and energy away from the relationship. The key here is to observe, not accuse. Note the frequency and patterns of these changes. Are they consistent and reasonable, or do they feel like excuses? Avoid jumping to conclusions. Instead, seek opportunities for honest dialogue. Ask open-ended questions such as, "I've noticed some changes in your schedule. How are things going for you?" This invites a response without confrontation. In relationships, change can either strengthen bonds or create distance. By remaining calm and attentive, you can better understand whether these shifts are part of your partner's personal journey or signs of a deeper issue. Always remember, clarity comes from observation, communication, and above all, maintaining your inner composure. 2. Increased secrecy with phone or devices. In today's connected world, our devices are extensions of our lives. A sudden increase in secrecy around a phone, laptop, or tablet can raise questions. This could include password changes, keeping their screen out of view, or stepping out of the room to take calls. For instance, your partner might start placing their phone face down on the table or become anxious when you're near it. They may lock their device when it was previously accessible or grow defensive when you casually ask about who they're texting. While privacy is important in any relationship, excessive secrecy can signal that something is amiss. It's worth considering whether the behavior is consistent with their usual habits or a noticeable departure. Are they avoiding conversations when their phone rings or quickly dismissing notifications when you're nearby? Before assuming the worst, reflect on the context. Could they be planning a surprise or dealing with personal matters they're not ready to share? Instead of prying, open a dialogue. I've noticed you've been more protective of your phone lately. Is there something on your mind? This approach shows concern rather than suspicion. It's important to respect boundaries while ensuring that secrecy isn't eroding trust. A healthy relationship thrives on transparency, even when privacy is maintained. Remember, your goal isn't to control their behavior, but to foster openness and understanding. 3. Emotional distance or lack of interest. Emotional intimacy is the glue that holds relationships together. When your partner begins to withdraw emotionally, it's often a sign that something deeper is going on. This withdrawal can manifest as disinterest in shared activities, a lack of engagement in conversations, or a noticeable absence of empathy and connection. For example, imagine your partner no longer asks about your day, seems distracted during conversations, or avoids discussing future plans. If you share exciting news and are met with indifference or disinterest, it can feel isolating. This emotional gap may leave you questioning what has changed and why. While emotional distance doesn't always indicate infidelity, it does suggest that the bond between you is under strain. Approach this shift with curiosity rather than accusation. You might say, "I've been feeling a little disconnected lately. How do you feel about where we're at?" Such questions can open the door to honest dialogue and potentially address underlying issues. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our reactions and responses. Use this moment to reflect on your relationship's dynamics and how you can contribute to rebuilding emotional closeness, regardless of the cause. 4. Suspicious financial transactions or unexplained expenses. Money often tells a story, and in some cases, it can reveal hidden aspects of a relationship. If your partner begins spending money in unusual ways or has unexplained transactions, it's worth taking note. Signs include new purchases you weren't informed about, increased ATM withdrawals, or strange charges on credit card statements. For example, you might notice charges for gifts you didn't receive, hotel stays, or unexplained travel expenses. Perhaps your partner has less disposable income than usual, yet their explanations don't quite add up. While financial habits can change for many reasons, secrecy or vagueness around money is a potential red flag. Before jumping to conclusions, consider the full picture. Are they under financial stress they haven't shared, or could there be a legitimate reason for these expenses? A calm, non-accusatory approach is key. "I noticed some new expenses on the statement and wanted to check in. Everything okay?" This shows concern rather than blame. Financial transparency is a cornerstone of trust in any partnership. Addressing these concerns directly but calmly can clarify misunderstandings or highlight areas that need attention. As a Stoic, focus on managing your thoughts and reactions while working toward clarity and truth. 5. Frequent arguments or picking fights. Unnecessarily. Conflict is natural in any relationship, but when arguments become frequent, petty, or seem to arise without clear cause, it could be a sign of underlying issues. A partner who starts picking fights over trivial matters might be using conflict as a way to create emotional distance or justify spending time apart. For example, a small mistake like forgetting to pick up groceries turns into a full-blown argument, or they might criticize you for behaviors they previously accepted. This sudden irritability or hypersensitivity often feels out of place and disproportionate. While arguments are not definitive proof of infidelity, they can indicate that something is disrupting the emotional equilibrium of your relationship. Instead of engaging in reactive behavior, take a step back and evaluate the patterns. Ask yourself, has this behavior become a norm? Is it paired with other concerning signs? When addressing these conflicts, try a calm and reflective approach. I've noticed we've been arguing more lately. Is there something we need to talk about? Such conversations can diffuse tension and invite honest dialogue. The Stoic perspective reminds us that we cannot control others' actions, only our response. Stay grounded, observe without judgment, and focus on maintaining your inner peace even amidst emotional turbulence. 6. Change in appearance or personal grooming habits. A sudden and significant change in your partner's appearance or grooming habits can be a sign that they're seeking external validation. While self-improvement is natural and commendable, unexplained efforts to look more attractive, combined with other suspicious behaviors, might warrant attention. Imagine your partner suddenly starts dressing more stylishly, using new cologne, or spending extra time at the gym. These changes could stem from a desire to impress someone new, especially if they don't involve you or your input. It's essential to consider the context. Are these changes tied to a new job, social circle, or personal goals? If so, they might be entirely innocent. However, if they're accompanied by increased secrecy or emotional distance, it could be a red flag. Address your observations with curiosity, not accusation. You've been putting a lot of effort into your appearance lately. It's great. What's inspired the change? This opens the door for an honest response while showing support for their efforts. As a Stoic, avoid jumping to conclusions or letting assumptions cloud your judgment. Focus on facts and approach the situation with grace and patience. Self-improvement can strengthen relationships when it's shared, so use this opportunity to reconnect. 7. Mysterious new friendships or acquaintances. A partner frequently mentioning or spending time with a new friend, especially one you haven't met, can raise questions. If they're vague about this person or seem reluctant to introduce you, it might indicate they're hiding something. For instance, your partner might reference a new co-worker or friend in casual conversation, but deflect when you ask more about them. They may claim these interactions are purely professional or platonic, but avoid sharing details or involving you in their plans. While new friendships are normal and healthy, secrecy around them isn't. A partner who values transparency will naturally include you in their social life. If you feel excluded or left in the dark, it's worth gently probing. You've mentioned person's name a few times. When do I get to meet them? The Stoic approach emphasizes reason over emotion. Resist letting jealousy or insecurity take over. Instead, focus on observing patterns and maintaining open communication. Trust is built on clarity, and seeking mutual understanding can either strengthen your relationship or highlight areas that need attention. 8. Unexplained absences or vague explanations. When a partner frequently disappears or offers vague explanations for their whereabouts, it can signal a shift in priorities. While everyone deserves personal time, a lack of clarity or consistency about how that time is spent may indicate something more concerning. For example, they might claim they're running errands, but return hours later with no clear outcome. Or they might attend social events or outings, but avoid sharing details or photos, leaving you wondering what really happened. It's important to differentiate between occasional absences and a pattern of avoidance. Ask yourself, have they started cancelling plans with you? Are they spending less time at home without reasonable explanations? Instead of reacting with suspicion, approach the situation calmly. You've seemed really busy lately. What's been going on? This gives them a chance to explain without feeling accused. If the response remains vague or defensive, it's worth noting and observing over time. A Stoic mindset reminds us to focus on what's within our control, our actions, our thoughts, and our choices. Don't let the anxiety of the unknown consume you. Seek clarity, but remain composed, using this opportunity to reflect on your expectations and the relationship's transparency. 9. Decrease in intimacy or physical connection. Physical intimacy is a crucial part of many relationships, and a noticeable decline in affection or physical connection can signal emotional or relational challenges. While it's normal for intimacy to fluctuate, a sudden or unexplained decrease may be worth exploring. Imagine your partner starts avoiding touch, cuddling, or sex, often citing tiredness or stress. If this behavior is paired with other signs of detachment, it could indicate they're emotionally or physically investing elsewhere. However, it's essential to consider other factors that might be affecting them, such as work pressure, health issues, or personal struggles. Avoid making assumptions without first seeking understanding. Approach the topic with sensitivity. I've noticed we haven't been as close lately. Is everything okay? I'd love to reconnect. This opens the door for honest dialogue and helps identify whether the issue stems from external stress or the relationship itself. Stoicism teaches us to temper our emotions and focus on constructive action. Instead of dwelling on what's lacking, look for ways to rebuild intimacy through communication, shared experiences, and patience. A relationship thrives when both partners work together to nurture its emotional and physical bonds. 10. Intuition or gut feeling. Indicating something is wrong. Sometimes our instincts sense trouble before we have tangible proof. A persistent gut feeling that something isn't right in your relationship can be unsettling, especially when it's difficult to pinpoint why. For instance, you might notice subtle changes in their tone, a lack of enthusiasm in their interactions, or an unspoken tension when you're together. These feelings may not come with concrete evidence, but they're often your subconscious picking up on inconsistencies. While intuition is valuable, it's important to approach it with balance and reason. Instead of letting it fuel paranoia, use it as a cue to observe patterns and ask thoughtful questions. Reflect on whether this feeling stems from real changes in the relationship or personal fears and insecurities. Start a calm conversation. I've been feeling a little uneasy lately. How do you think we're doing? This allows for open dialogue and gives them a chance to address any concerns. A Stoic perspective encourages us to trust our reason over unchecked emotions. Let your intuition guide you toward clarity, not confrontation. By seeking understanding and focusing on constructive action, you can either confirm your concerns or find peace in knowing your doubts were unfounded. Solutions and how to approach the situation. Recognizing potential signs of infidelity can be distressing, but how you respond makes all the difference. The goal is not to let suspicion consume you, but to navigate the situation with clarity, wisdom, and emotional strength. Here are some constructive approaches. 1. Open and honest communication. The cornerstone of resolving any relationship issue is clear and respectful communication. Once you've observed consistent patterns that concern you, address them calmly. Avoid accusations or emotional outbursts, as these can escalate the situation. Instead, frame your observations neutrally. I've noticed some changes in our relationship lately, and I wanted to talk about it because I care about us. This approach invites dialogue rather than defensiveness. Your tone and intent should signal your desire to understand and work together, not to blame. 2. Observe patterns over time. One moment of secrecy or change in behavior doesn't equate to betrayal. Look for consistent behaviors rather than isolated incidents. Keep a mental or written log of what you observe, focusing on facts rather than assumptions. This helps you remain objective and prevents impulsive reactions. Patience is a virtue. let time reveal the truth. Trust your ability to remain composed as you gather clarity. 3. Seek advice from trusted sources. Sometimes an outside perspective can help. Share your concerns with a trusted friend, family member, or counselor. Ensure this person can provide balanced, non-judgmental advice. If your emotions feel overwhelming, a therapist or relationship coach can help you navigate them constructively. However, maintain discretion to protect your partner's privacy and avoid spreading unverified concerns. 4. Focus on self-care and personal clarity. Dealing with uncertainty in a relationship can be emotionally draining. Take steps to prioritize your well-being. Journaling. Write down your thoughts and emotions to gain perspective. Self-reflection. Assess your role in the relationship and whether your needs are being met. Therapy or counseling. Professional guidance can help you untangle your feelings and make sound decisions. The Stoic way teaches us to control what we can, our mindset and actions, while accepting what we cannot. Self-care is essential to maintain clarity and composure. By focusing on communication, patience, and self-awareness, you can address your concerns thoughtfully and respectfully. Whether your fears are validated or not, these steps will help you grow stronger, wiser, and more in tune with yourself and your relationship. Recognizing signs of infidelity is a challenging journey, but it doesn't have to lead to despair. Relationships are built on trust, and addressing concerns openly can either reinforce that trust or bring clarity to what needs change. Avoid assumptions or rash actions. Instead, approach the situation with patience and wisdom. Focus on communication, observe behaviors over time, and prioritize your emotional health. Whether you move forward together or separately, this process will help you grow and develop deeper self-awareness. In the end, remember this truth: your worth is not defined by someone else's actions. By embracing clarity and resilience, you can navigate any challenge with grace and strength, paving the way for healthier and more fulfilling relationships. If you found this content insightful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more wisdom on navigating life and relationships, and share your thoughts or takeaways in the comments below. Have you noticed any of these signs before? How did you approach the situation? Your experiences could provide valuable perspectives for others. Thank you for watching, and remember, the path to clarity begins with understanding yourself and the connections you choose to nurture.